students, today I, Swain, welcome all of you to the GYANJYOTI online classes. As you know that I am teaching you S.St and today I will teach you Civics. The name of the chapter is Key Elements of a Democratic Government. Students, the chapter number is 4 and the name of the chapter is Key Elements of a Democratic Government. Students, you know that in the section Civics we have studied the first chapter as diversity, the second one is diversity and discrimination, and students, the third chapter is the understanding government. That chapter is quite related to we can say that this chapter is related to the previous chapter, that is understanding government. Students, what is government? A government is a body of people elected by the common citizens of a country who rule or who govern the country. So, students, in that chapter we have studied that what types of government are seen in this world, in this modern world. So, there are majorly 3 types of government, students. The first one is monarchy, which is ruled by a king or a queen. Nowadays also, in some countries we can see a monarchy form of government. And students, the second one is dictatorship. Dictatorship means in Hindi we say Tanasaha, means a single man is the whole ruler, a supreme ruler of a country. We can say the example of North Korea. He is the supreme ruler of North Korea, means every law, every type of rules and regulations is made by him. No one is independent there to express his or her opinions. Students, now the third form of government, which is the most popular form of government in this world, is the democratic form of government, which we can see in our country. And almost all the countries in this modern world, they are successfully running a democratic form of government. Students, what happens in a democratic government? So, this is what we are going to read in this chapter. So, first of all, we will read what is democracy. Students, let us take the definition. Democracy is a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And this definition was said by Mr. Abraham Lincoln, the former president of the United States. Students, means it is of the people, by the people, and for the people. This government is made specifically for the people of the country, and it is the most preferred government today. Students, it's true because every person, every citizen in the country has the right to vote, right to speak, right to do anything, right to reside anywhere inside the country. So, therefore, India has adopted a different form of government. There is a democratic form of government, students, because you know India is unity in diversity. The thousands of religions, different types of languages, dialects, people are speaking and following different faith. Students, then what makes a democratic government more successful? Because it has the basic characteristics that ensure people's welfare. In democracy, an individual is not just a passive person but an active participant of the government. Because students, there's a mechanism called elections. You know what are elections? I have told you that in India there's a mechanism that is called elections, and there's a term called universal adult franchise, which allows citizens who have attained the age of 18 and more than 18 years, like me, that they can vote independently, irrespective of any religion, caste, creed, sex, income, and etc. etc. So, we have the citizens of our country have the right to vote. This is the most important right. We can elect our own government, we can choose our own representative whom we think that he or she is the best. Students, this was all about democracy. Now we will study about constitution. Here I have written constitution. Students, you know that Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, he Bhimrao Ambedkar is often called the father of the Indian Constitution because his works led to the formation of a constitution, which is a set of laws. Students, I will write here, constitution is a Students, what is constitution? It is a set of laws that govern a country. It lays down the framework of power, duties and limits of the government. It defines the rights and duties of a citizen. Students, our constitution has guaranteed fundamental rights, fundamental duties to us. Then that allows us, a citizen of a country, to get some special duties, to do some specific duties. We have got some fundamental rights which allows citizens to be free in any manner. Then students, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was the chief architect, as I have told you. He was we can say the founder. He was the chief architect of the Indian Constituent Assembly, and it was adopted, and the Constitution Assembly adopted the Constitution on 26 November 1949. Students, remember the date, 26 November. 26 November 1949, and it came into effect on 26 January 1950. First, it was adopted on 26 November, but it came into effect on 26 January 1950. Therefore, that day, 26 January, is called, we are celebrating it as a national festival, that is the Republic Day. Students, we know there are majorly three types of national festivals being celebrated in our country. The first one is the Independence Day, that is on 15th August, we know, everybody will know that. Then 26 Jan or January, that is the Republic Day. And third one we can say the 2nd October. It is celebrated as GYANJYOTI, the birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi, who is the father of the nation. Students, after it came into effect, India became a republic. You know, students, what is a republic means? Republic is a country which is governed by the group of elected peoples, not by a monarch. Okay, students, now we'll study about the organs of the democratic government. Students, next, what are the organs? Students, as we have studied, once I have done a mistake, students, I will write the spelling correctly. Sorry, students, I have written the spelling wrong, so it is democratic government. What are the organs? There are three organs, students, as I have told you in the earlier classes. The first one is the legislation. Legislation is the organ of the government which makes the law. Then second one is executive. Which enforces the law. And the third one is the judiciary. Interprets the law. Students, the three are the main organs of the government. That is the legislative, executive and the judiciary. These organs of the government function independently, and it is through these organs that the will of the state is formulated and implemented. And further students, it can be understood with the help of an example, means diagram. I will draw a diagram, then only you will understand much better. first one is the legislature. Executive. Legislature, executive, and the third one is the judiciary. So, what are these functions? The first one, students, legislative. They make law, as I have told you. The third one is implement them. Sorry, students. The second one, executive, is the implement law. And the last one is it's solves disputes. It solves disputes. Students, and what are we can say that what are the different sub parts and which body or who is included in this three organs. So first of all, the legislature, that is the parliament. Parliament, students, is divided into two houses. The first one is Lok Sabha. Friends, Parliament is the body which makes law, and you know that Parliament is divided into two houses. This is the Lok Sabha, and friends, that is the Rajya Sabha. Then, who implements law? This is the Prime Minister. Students, I have written in short. That is PM. That stands for Prime Minister. Then the Council of Ministers plus PM. Along with PM, his Council of Ministers. His or her Council of Ministers are responsible for the implementation of that is called administration, we can say. The last one is the Supreme Court. Plus High Courts. Students, there is a single Supreme Court situated in New Delhi, and High Courts, then district courts. Should please look at the board that the chapter is key elements of a democratic government, the constitution, how the three organs of the government is divided. The first one is legislature, it makes the law, its function is making the law. Then it is the parliament who is responsible for making the law. Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha are the two houses of the parliament that students executing the laws. That is PM plus the Council of Ministers. That is called the administrative part, and the last one is the judiciary. Judiciary is the body, is the organ who solves disputes and interprets the law. That is Supreme Court, High Courts, and the district courts. They all are responsible for settling disputes. Then students will move further. Students, then we will study in detail about these three organs. That the legislature is the organ of the government that makes law. As I have told you a few minutes ago, that in India, legislature includes both the houses of the parliament, that is the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. The members of legislature are selected by the people. That's we all know by elections. There is a mechanism called elections. Then the executive. Who is the executive? The executive is that organ of the government which implements laws passed by the legislative. It is also responsible for the daily administration of the state. Students, the administrative works is done by the executive. Then the executive consists of the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers. Then students, at last the judiciary. The judiciary is that organ of government which punishes those the criminals who have violated the laws and settles the disputes of the citizens. And it is composed of the Supreme Court of India. There is a single Supreme Court, students. You must have seen in television channels. And there are high courts. There are different high courts in different states. and district courts. We can see in Wapra also you can see many types of courts are present there. Students, the last one is, the next phase is participation to elections. What is the participation of the common people, the citizen of our country through elections? How they participate with the government? Students, participation means to take part in anything. Suppose we are having annual sports in our school. So who will take part means, who will participate means to take part in an event. It may be athletics, high jumps and other races. In a democracy, the people have right to participate in the decision making process of the government. This is done by voting in elections and for the choice of representatives, and that process is called the universal right franchise, because the citizens of our country who have attained the age of 18 years or above that, then they can only vote, not less than that. Students, in India, the government is elected for a term of 5 years. If something happens, some conflict is there inside the government, then it falls or it dissolves. Then next elections can be held. But generally it is elected for a term of 5 years. State government also, they are elected for a period of tenure of 5 years. If the government is unable to fulfill all the needs of the citizens, then people can elect a different government in the next elections. Thus, a government in a democracy keeps in mind that the voices or the interests of the people are fulfilled. Students, suppose you have elected an MLA of an area, and if you see that in the term of 5 years, he or she doesn't fulfill all your requirements, they don't listen to their voices, your problems, and they don't have an idea about your issues in the village, in the town, means you have the right to change them in the next elections. Okay, students, the next one is forming public opinion. Students, the next point, next element I can say, that is the forming public opinion. Students, what do you mean by public opinion? Public means people, opinion means your views. What do you think about something? If you say what do you think about school, then you can say our school is situated in Gatto, in Nobra district near Nobra, and the name of the village is Gatto. Our school has so and so classes, so many students, more than 1,000 students are studying there. So this is an opinion about our school. So what happens in a democratic government? A democracy gives people the right to express their opinion. When people are unhappy with the government, then with their policies and their style of work, then they express their opinion through protest marches and signature campaigns, rallies, strikes. Students, what do you mean by protest march? In Hindi you can say dharna mein baithna. Dharna means they strike, they protest against any policies. Students, if a policy is being made or a law is made by and passed by the government and the people they don't like it, students, then what will they? They will protest. They will means in Hindi you can say आवाज उठाना, उसके खिलाफ वो आवाज उठाते हैं. ठीक है बच्चों? Then they do some signature campaigns. Signature campaigns means, students, all the people of the area they sign in a particular note and they put forward to the district collector or to the government. They give their voice to against the policy of the government. Then students, there is rally. Rally means strikes, debates and discussions. Means especially in television, if you have seen some debate shows that persons from different political parties they come towards a single stage and they are asked that whether they are satisfied with the government's policy or not. They put forward their opinions. That students, yes, no, I am not satisfied with this. Yes, I am satisfied with this. So this type of debates are going on for the forming a public opinion. It may be against the government. It may be in favor of the government. So then, Thus, they directly take part in the decision making process. So, why government will listen to them? Students, if you think that if something evil has happened, or something bad has happened, and if a law that doesn't suit us is passed by the government, then thousands and billions and millions of people protest to the road, protest in the road, protest against the government. Then government will must listen that what the people are asking me. If the Prime Minister, he will ask himself that why the people are protesting means that is a type of public opinion. He will think that yes, that the law which we have made that is against the people. Then they will try to change it. So by this process, they are forming their public opinion. And there are many mediums also. So what can be the medium? That media is the media. What do you mean by media? Media plays a very important role in forming public opinion. That can be newspaper, television, radio, computer, internet. This is the most important medium for forming public opinion. They provide information, spread political awareness, publish opinions of individuals, and spread political awareness, hold discussions and debates. How do you know about a particular party staying in village? Because by watching TV, you know that what BJP or the ruling BJP government, the BJD government, what they are doing. You can see out in TV that what are the different policies, what they are doing, are they work satisfied or not? Are you satisfied with them or not? How they can reach to the grassroots level, to the village level. So these are the different types of medium. These methods mobilize public opinion in favor or against the government decision. People's decision also helps government to formulate their policies on important issues. Then students the next element of the democratic government is the political parties. Yes, it is true. Political parties form the most basic necessity in a democratic government because they are the parties, they are the people who make government. They form government and they represent us. Indirectly, they represent us in the center and state. So, what can be the definition of a political party? So, a political party friends, I am writing a definition. A political party is a group of people who come together to contest elections and hold power in the government. Students, here I have written in short, this is the government, a short form of government. Students. So, please look at the definition, students. A political party is a group of people who come together, means to coming together and to contest elections and hold power in the government. Students, what happens here? That a group of people, they register their parties in the Election Commission of India, having different symbols. They have their leaders, they have their presidents and different members who form the political party, and they stand for the elections. They stand their candidates in the different elections. So, political parties nominate their candidates for elections. The people have a choice to vote for a candidate who best represents their interest, and they give a consolation, an assurance to solve their issues and disputes, if any. The parties that are in minority form the opposition, but the party which wins, they form the government. The primary role of the ruling party is to run the government effectively. The opposition parties position themselves as a government watchdog, means they see that what the government is doing. They are in the right direction, or not. If they are not, then they oppose them in the parliament, in the Vidhan Sabhas. That they oppose them in in every bit that the work you done by you is not as good as what we are expecting from you. So they prevent the ruling party from becoming dictatorial. They don't allow them to be biased. They want that they should serve every citizen and at the grassroots level, to every corner of the country or state. In India, the opposition parties are quick to act against faulty policies and unjust laws. There had been incidents when strong protests were staged against certain polls forcing the government to retract. So sometimes what happens, friends, that the political parties who are ruling the government, most of the time they form some different, they have some conflicts. If they are not working in a right direction, then the opposition party is there, and the common people, after strong protest done against the government is forced to react in this manner. So students, we will have a look at some of the political parties in our country. So the first one is, it is BJP. BJP stands for Bharatiya Janata Party. Mr. Amit Shah. Amit Shah is now the Home Minister of our country, and before sorry students, I have done a mistake, it is Mr. J.P. Nadda. J.P. Nadda is the present president of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Before him, Amit Shah was the president of the political party BJP. And students, its political party's sign was lotus, Kamal Phool. In Hindi we say Kamal Phool. And it was established in the year 1980. In the year, students, 1980 means near about 40 years they have completed. Yes, students. Then the next one is, students, the Congress Party. Congress Party is, students, the oldest party in our country. That is the Indian National Congress. It is written in short, INC, Indian National Congress. Students, Srimati Sonia Gandhi. And it was formed on 1885. Students, look at how much old it is. Means near about 135 years it is completed. It is the oldest political party in our country. Then, students, the Communist Party of India, CPI. CPI, students, just stands for Communist Party of India. Then, students, one more thing I have forgotten. Their symbol is this hand, like this. Okay, students. Communist Party of India is D. Raja, and it was formed in the year 1900. Something forgotten. It was formed in the year 1925. So, students, these are some of the examples of political parties. There are more political national. These are national political parties. Students, what do you mean by national political parties and state political parties? There is a difference, students. It means these political parties have a presence in more than 4 to 5 states. Means their candidates you can see in more than 4 to 5 states in our country. One more national political party you can see is the All India Trinamool Congress. Then Mamata Banerjee. So the Mamata Banerjee is the head of the political party, and you know that she is the Chief Minister of West Bengal. Their party was formed in the year 1998. Then one more party I can say, Bahujan Samaj Party. Mayawati ji is the president, I can say, the head of the party, and their symbol is the elephant. It was formed in the year 1984. So, students, this was all about the political parties. Then, students, we will study about equality and justice. of democratic government is equality. All the citizens of our country should be equal before the law. They must get justice. All are equal, must be there in front of the law. Equality and justice are the essential elements for the successful of democracy. Equality means that the law treats everyone equal. Equality means equality means that the law equality means, friends, that the law treats everyone equal. Okay, students, equality means that the law treats everyone equal and not in favor of a particular person or a particular group of people, and because he or she belongs to the advantage means section or the rich people. They doesn't belong to the rich people, means they are not given a special status, I can say, or special law is being made for the section of people. That therefore it is said that equality should be given to all the section of the society in equal manner. Then, students, justice is the basic fairness between the humans and the institution. Justice for all. Nowadays, the main slogan of judiciary is justice for all. Means therefore, different types of courts are being opened in every nook and corner of the country. You can see that in every blocks and tahsils, you can see different courts are being opened for the betterment of the people. Equality, thus students, equality and justice go hand in hand. A society cannot have any one without another. Equality, and once equality, it ensures the people who are affected by social decisions have an influence on those decisions. Thus, laws give every adult the right to vote and equal value to each vote. Students, equality maintains human dignity at all cost. Then, the practice of untouchability. This is an example. Untouchability means achut. In ancient times, students, the people of lower caste, they were treated as untouchable. Nowadays also, in the most remote areas of our country, in our village, the people who are called as Dalits, they are being treated as untouchables. They are not given a place inside the villages. They are children, they are studying in different schools. They don't allow them to go inside the temples. They don't take water from the nearby wells of the villages. Now also we can see this type of differences. We can see discriminations in our society. But the Constitution doesn't allow all this. Students, a law was passed to abolish untouchability and punish those who practice it. Who practice this, they were given the punishment. Students, one more thing, that opportunities have been created for the people who were treated in unequal. Then, students, by providing special provisions for women, government promotes justice to all sections of the society. Students, before some years, the British era, or much before that, the women also were not given the equal rights. Sati Pratha was being prevailing in that era, but after some years, it was abolished. Widow remarriage means vidhva, that they were not given the right to remarriage once again, once their husband was died. But after some time, as the modern day gradually came, after some years, then it was abolished. Nowadays, we don't have this type of activities. So, the framers of the Constitution, students, declared in simple languages that there's a few lines which has been given in your textbook, that the state shall not deny any person equality before the law or equal protection of the laws within the territory of India. Students, the last topic here is the resolving conflicts. As you know, students, the name of our chapter, the key elements, this is the last topic, last element you can say of a democratic government. This is the resolving conflict. Resolver means solving, सुलझाना. Conflict means कोई झगड़ा हो रहा है. So what type of disputes are there? That is should be solved. Then students, the Indian Constitution promotes diversity. We know that our country is often known as unity in diversity. Students, then the differences of caste, creed, religion, culture, language and tribes creates a disagreement among individuals. Sometimes a group of people may feel that they are discriminated, they are not given the equal rights. It causes insecurity among them. Means they are feeling inferior. The people of the advantaged society, the rich people, and so the people who are very rich, they have more income. They think that they are being superior, but the people who are lower in caste, who are very poor, they are thinking that they are inferior in their nature. This causes conflict. Sometimes conflict leads to violence. See, students, if you are not satisfied, means with the solution, then there must be a conflict, which endangers people's life and property, peace and development. The earth had limited resources. Like students, now we'll come to the next. That what type of conflicts we see, especially in our country. Means the earth had limited resources like land, water, petrol, and different types of natural resources. Then students, what happens? The demand for these limited resources is increasing day by day as the population is gradually increasing. The demand for these resources like water. Water is the most important element for survival of human beings. Not just human beings, all the living things on Earth. Therefore, Earth is known as a unique planet. When resources are limited but demanded by many, it causes conflict among people as well as state students. What are the problems in the case? So, there are some various established methods to resolve different problems. So, what can be there? What are their problems? Especially here we have to study about the water dispute between some states. Means you have heard about the Tamil Nadu Karnataka case where due to some water problem, that is we are going to study in this next phase, that judiciary is the main body which deals with this type of conflicts, because judiciary, as we know, that judiciary is a body where people settle disputes, and therefore different courts are being made to solve the disputes of the common people. Then students, it consists of the Supreme Courts, we know, then High Courts, District Courts, the subordinate courts. There are some family courts also, students, to resolve conflicts within the family situated in every district of our country. The police is responsible for the maintenance of law and order. They have to ensure that violence does not spread, does not take place. Often they get the representatives of concerned communities to meet and arrive at a solution. Students, then the topic inside resolving conflicts is the water disputes. I can say water disputes. The main topic here is water dispute. What are the different types of disputes? So students, conflict over distribution of water. As I have told you, that water is the most essential element for the survival of human beings, not just human beings, all living things on earth. It is a constant source of tension and conflict throughout the country, not just in a particular place, throughout the country. In India, it is so much that these conflicts have reached every segment of our society. Every people is being affected. Every section of the society, every region, every district, every caste, and to especially to the farmers, because they need water for their agriculture and cultivation purposes. Water is an essential element which every human being needs in day-to-day lives. Next, the government has successfully resolved this water conflicts by setting up state water dispute tribunal. Students, what is that? The state water dispute. State Water Dispute Tribunal. Students, what do you mean by tribunal? Tribunal means a special court formed by the government for settling disputes. State water dispute means the problems. So, what are the different types of tribunals we will study? Students, here in your book, two types of tribunals given. Two types of water dispute tribunals are shown. The first one is the Kaveri water dispute. What is the Kaveri water dispute? Students, Kaveri is a river, and what are the disputes and which two to three states who are involved in these disputes? We will study. It is between Tamil Nadu, students, it is between Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and Kerala. Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and Kerala. Then, this is the Kaveri water dispute is between the three states because the river flows through the three states. Then, this is the dispute that everyone wants water in the more share, lion's share, everybody wants. But this is not possible, students, because water is not a person's property. It is a natural resource. It is the property of the nation. We can say then that this dispute has been solved by setting a tribunal in the year 1990. But still also people fight over this type of water disputes. Then the second one is students Ravi Bees. Ravi Bees dispute. So what is the dispute? Between Punjab and Haryana and Rajasthan, this dispute was made. And what happened that this all the rivers passing through these states, they want their major share. This was the dispute, students, everybody wants. And therefore the conflict was started. And it started in the tribunal was set up in the year 1996. And by this, I have forgotten to return the name of the states. This is the Punjab, Haryana, and Rajasthan. These three states are involved in this dispute, Ravi Bees dispute, students. So, by this is the end of the topic, end of the chapter, key elements of a democratic government. Students, I hope you have understood the chapter very well. Students, I once again repeat all of you that while watching this video, please go through the textbook thoroughly. If you haven't, then please buy the books as soon as possible, because students, if you don't have a look at the textbook, you won't understand the video. Therefore, students, I will say you that students, stay home, stay safe. By saying this, I say goodbye to all of you. Thank you. Have a nice day.